So we're going to go ahead and get started here. A reminder, tomorrow is your test. Your test will pretty much resemble these types of problems and the triad review that you guys had completed for today. The first 3 questions on today's opener are solving one-step inequalities. The last question is going to be solving an equation or solving a proportion, however you prefer to solve it. So there's 2 ways that you can solve the d over 18(1). Let's take a look at the first 2 here. We have 2/3 a is less than or equal to 6 over 7. So when you go to take your test tomorrow, you need to circle your variable, draw your line of equality, and then you're going to make sure you box your answer. That's the first point. The second point is showing the inverse operation. How do you get that variable by itself? So Nick, how do I get the variable by itself? Anytime a number touches a variable, it means to, well, what does it mean to do? Not multiply, but to get it by itself, we're going to divide. So we're going to divide each side by 2/3. So I show that that cancels on my left. I bring down my variable. Now, did I divide by a negative number? No, I did not divide by a negative number, so my inequality sign stays the same. So from there, I now need to take 6/7 divided by 2/3. When you type this into your calculator, make sure you type in the 6/7 first. However, if you're trying to earn extra credit on your test, you're going to show me the work that I'm going to do below in the red. So when we divide fractions, what do I need to remember to do? Nope, that's only when I add and subtract. When I divide fractions, I use an acronym to help me out. KFC, yeah. So the K stands for keep. So I'm going to keep my first fraction the same. The F, flip. I'm going to flip my second fraction. So 2 over thirds is going to go to 3 over 2. And I change my division sign to a multiplication sign. So now I have a multiplication problem. When I multiply, I like to simplify from the beginning. So look up here. 6 over 7 times 3 over 2. Can I reduce any of these numerators with any of the denominators?
6, 2.
What are they both divisible by?
2.
Okay. 6 divided by 2 is?
3.
And then 2 divided by 2 is?
1.
1. Can I reduce any other numerator with any other denominator? No. So from there, I multiply my numerator. So 3 times 3 is 9. Denominator, 7 times 1? 7. So my final answer is going to be 9 over 7. So A is less than or equal to 9 over 7. Thumbs up if you got that on your own. Did any of you guys try to show the extra work for extra credit? All right, let's take a look at the next one. B over 2/3 is greater than 6/7. So my goal is to get the B by itself. So how am I going to get the B by itself? Brendan? Yeah, I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply each side by 2/3. When I do my multiplication, I write it off to the side, so then it's easier for me to show that it's canceling. So when I go to show my multiplication on the right side, I'm going to line up my numerators and my denominators together. So I'm going to bring down my variable. Now, did I multiply by a negative number? Did I multiply by a negative number? No. So what happens to my inequality sign? Yeah, it stays the same. So B is greater than, and now I'm ready to multiply my fractions. Again, what I'm going to show in the green, you don't have to do, but if you're trying to earn extra credit, then this is how you'd write it out. So 6/7 times 2/3. Can I reduce any numerator with any denominator? Yeah, what?
6.
What are they both divisible by?
3.
Good. 6 divided by 3 is?
2.
Okay. 3 divided by 3 equals? 1. Can I reduce any other numerator with any other denominator? No. So from here, I simply multiply my numerators. So 2 times 2
4.
And 7 times 1, multiply my denominators.
7.
And I box my final answer. How we do on that one? Do okay? All right, let's take a look at the last two. Be sure you are showing me, a lot of you guys are just writing out like the 2/3 and you're not showing me the operation. So make sure you show that operation. Remember, when I say operation, I mean multiply, divide, add, or subtract. Okay, last two. Negative 4c is greater than 14. Deontay, how do I get the c by itself here? What type of 4 is that? Very good. So I'm going to divide by negative 4. So hold up. Don't go too far ahead of me. So c, now I divided by a negative number. Say it again. Yeah, I'm going to flip my inequality sign. So now it's going to read c is less than. Now 14 divided by negative 4. I cut you off. What were you going to say about that? Can you take 14 and divide it by negative 4? What are you going to end up with?
7. Negative 2. Wait, no.
You're thinking 2.
I'm sure.
So if you take 14 divided by negative 4, what's going to happen, Jemiah?
You gotta move the negative to
Yeah, you're going to get a decimal. If you take
you gotta move
14.
the negative to the negative to the top.
Okay, so since we're going to get a decimal, we're going to leave it as a fraction. So as Deontay was saying, we're going to move that negative to the top here. And then I'm going to reduce 14 over 4. What's 14 and 4 both divisible by? 2. So I already put my negative in there. So what's 14 divided by 2?
7.
So I have a negative 7. And what's 4 divided by 2? 2. So my answer then is going to be negative 7 over 2. So C is less than negative 7 over 2. I see some erasing. What mistake did we make? Did we add it?
No, I didn't know the negative.
Oh, okay. All right, last one. Do you guys want to solve it as a proportion first? By cross multiplying? Okay. So we're going to cross multiply first.
Yes, I want to do.
So we're going to take cross multiply d times 6, and what do I end up with? What's d times 6?
16.
Okay. Then I'm going to take 18, so I'm going to put my equal sign. 18 times 5 equals 90.
That's not the way I did it.
That's okay. There's 2 ways you can solve it. So then I have a one-step equation. Circle my variable, draw my line. How do I get the d by itself? So I'm going to divide each side by 6. Can I take 90 and divide it by 6 evenly? No?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a calculator. Take 90 divided by 6. What do you get in your calculator?
15.
15? So yeah, so you can get it evenly. So d equals 15. Now, the other way that you could solve this, now if you notice, before I go to the other way, after I cross multiplied, when I had my one-step equation, what did I do? I still circled my variable, drew my line, and boxed my answer, okay? So the second way that you could choose to solve this, I'm going to write it over here in blue, d over 18 equals 5 over 6. So the second way you could do it, circle your variable, draw your line. How do you get the 18 or the d by itself? Excuse me.
Multiply
18.
So we're going to multiply each side by 18. That cancels. How do I change? Now the part in red would be extra credit. How do I change a whole number to a fraction? Put a 1 under it. Can I reduce any of these numerators with any of the denominators? Can I reduce 5 with 6? 5 with 1?
You can do 16 with 18.
I can do 18 and 6. So what are 18 and 6 both divisible by?
That's 2.
3.
Even higher. They are both divisible by 2. They are both divisible by 3. But there's a number even higher that they're both divisible by. 6. So you could do by 2, you're just going to have to reduce again. Or you could reduce by 3, you'll just have to do it again. But if we reduce by 6, we only have to do it one time. So what's 6 divided by 6?
1.
1. What's 18 divided by 6?
3.
It is 3. So from here, I bring down my variable d equals, so what's 5 times 3?
15.
What's 1 times 1? Do I need to have that as a denominator?
Wait,
No,
how did
because I want it in simplest form.
How did I get 90 over planet Huh? Can you do this?
So wait, so what did you, let me come look at, I'll come look at yours. Any questions on these two other than Deontay? I'm going to come look at his.